Let's look at something, and let me take you back again to the period, because you've talked about Nkrumah. When you recollect, when you remember the period of independence and all the things you felt you could do, first, let's go back again and look at your aspirations. What were those aspirations? Since you've talked about it being dashed, would I assume that your aspirations were you could do everything? How have those aspirations been dashed? But if I don't get your aspirations right, you could tell us again your aspirations at the time of independence, because of all Kwame Nkrumah had told you, and how these aspirations have been dashed.
Yeah, well, you know, our aspirations at the time of independence, that we were going to be, we're going to industrialize, we're going to manufacture things, we're going to do things that like everybody else, you know. So we had an atomic research station, and even by the time Nkrumah was overthrown, we were producing our own radioisotopes, you know, nuclear medicine. And we had all these factories. We were producing tomatoes and glass at Aboso and tires at Bonsa and so on. We had the image of transforming Africa and being an independent, prosperous country in Africa, and of course inspiring other African countries to do the same. Now, these aspirations have not been fulfilled. They have been dashed to the ground because, of course, we had people who are bent on keeping Africa as an object of exploitation, and of course, some of our own people, you know, cooperated in that. But in spite of the fact that our hopes, my hopes, or our hopes for independence have been dashed, I am reminded by a proverb from our my Maasai ancestors that says that the scorching sun can never erase the stripes of the zebra. So we still have our Africanness. We still have the abilities that we can depend on to move ourselves forward. And so such thinking, such proverbs, or our ancestors said, you know, what is past is but a small fraction of what is yet to come. If we can remind ourselves of these ancestral wisdoms, we will not be despondent and believe that all we can do is to borrow, to ask others to come and help us. Nobody needs to help us. We can do everything we want if we have confidence in ourselves.